Hello, students. Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Juan Contreras, and welcome to this new class. Okay, today we're going to learn about comparing the sound sh and the sound ch. Okay, you maybe recognize these two sounds because we often hear it in English. So we're going to learn a little bit more about these according to some questions that you often ask me. Okay. Now, I hope you're ready for this class because I am ready, okay? So, let's go. No, let's not waste time. The most common question that you always ask me is this one. What are these? Okay? What are these sounds? The sound sh and the sound ch. Okay? Well, let me tell you that these sounds are phonemes. Okay? Repeat after me. Phonemes. Okay? And you may be asking, what are phonemes? Well, let me tell you that phonemes are a small unit of speech to distinguish an element from a word. I mean, when you are talking, you are using sounds. Those sounds are phonemes, okay? Normally, these sounds are used to represent letters. So in that way, when you use those letters in a word, you speak those sounds, okay? That is why this is very important to know, okay? The sound sh and the sound ch are phonemes, okay? Now, let's go to the next question. Another common question that you usually ask me is this one. How can you make the sh sound? Well, I'm going to explain you, so pay attention carefully. First, you should know that this is a voiceless palatal-alveolar fricative sound. Okay? It's voiceless because the vocal cords does not vibrate. It's palatal-alveolar because you use the blade and the tip of the tongue, along with the alveolar ridge and the palate. And it's fricative because the air is leaded through two articulators from the mouth. Now, the other thing that you should know is that this is an oral consonant. What is an oral consonant? It means that the air is allowed to escape through the mouth. Okay? Now, the last thing that you should know is that this the sound is produced by pushing the air out. Okay? The air comes from the lungs and you push it through the mouth. Okay? Now, um, I always tell my students that this sound is very similar to the onomatopoeia sound when we ask someone to make silence. Okay, if you ask someone to make silence, you could just say shh. Okay, and that is very similar to this sound. Okay, shh. Shh. Let's go to the next question. Next question. How can you make the ch sound? Okay, let's pay attention to this. As in the previous sound, this is also a voiceless and palatal alveolar. Okay, the voiceless is because the vocal cords does not vibrate, and palatal alveolar because you use the tongue along with the alveolar ridge and the palate. Now, the difference between the two sounds is that this one is affricate. Okay, this means that the air is stopped and directed with the tongue and the sharp teeth, making turbulence. Okay, like this. Okay, now this is an oral consonant. Okay, the oral consonant means that the air is allowed to escape through the mouth. Okay, the air escape through the mouth. When we make this, the air escape. Now, the next thing is that this sound is very used in CH words. Okay? So if we see a word that has CH, we will use this sound. Now, let's go to the next question. In what part of the words can I find these sounds? Okay, well, let me tell you that the sound sh and the sound ch, you can find it in every position of the word, whether it will be the initial, the medial, and or the final. Okay, the sound sh, you can find it in the initial position with words, for example, as shoulder and show. In the middle with words like pressure and professional, and in the final position with words like push and Spanish. Okay, you can find this sound in every part or every position of the word. Now, let's go with the ch. In the initial position, you have chip and cheese. In the middle, you have kitchen and matching. And in the final position, you have march and watch. Okay, so these sounds are very common to find in every word. Now, can I use both sounds in context? Well, of course you do. Okay, you could find these two sounds in context in the same phrase. Okay, let me give you some examples. Okay, listen and repeat. Okay, can you share your chair with me, please? He realized the wool of the sheep was cheap. It's very funny to watch how you wash the car. I'm going to choose this pair of shoes. They look so cool. These are some examples of words or sounds or verb sentences that you could use to speak in English, and these two sounds will be in the same sentence. Okay, so you could use both sounds in context. Now, is there any way to practice these sounds? Well, yes, there is a way. Use activities and games like this one that I have right here. Okay, it will help you a lot because the better way to practice is not knowing you're practicing. Okay, we have this tic-tac-toe with sounds. Okay, you know the game tic-tac-toe, the game with the X and the O's. Well, replace the X and the O's using words with sh sound and ch sound. Okay, I'm very sure that this game will help you to practice a lot the way to pronounce these sounds and to find it in very common words in English. Okay, so we have some example here. You have to make three words. You have to make a line with three words, whether it will be vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Okay, and that way you win. Well, guys, that was all the class. I hope you like it, and I hope you learn a little bit about these two sounds. Okay, and if you don't learn, I think you should go and check the material again. Okay. So see you in the next class, guys. Bye bye.